lesson. My name is Charlotte Lucas. I am an autism low incidence mentor teacher with Richmond Public Schools, and I am delighted to be able to work with you today. The title of our story today is The Right Attitude for the Job. To start our lesson today, we will discuss vocabulary. Then we will discuss the book features we need to look for as we read. Next, I will read the story to you. And finally, we will answer comprehension questions about the book. And our focus for today is going to be on inferences. And I know you've heard that word before. We'll elaborate on it as we go along. All right, so let's start with vocabulary. When we read this book, there are some vocabulary words that you want to be familiar with before we read. So the title of the book is The Right Attitude for the Job. If we're talking about a job, you know you need to have an interview. An interview is when you talk with the boss, and the boss gets to decide if you have a good attitude for the job and if you're prepared for the job. And if you have a job, you're going to get a paycheck. And if you get a paycheck, to get a paycheck, you have to clock in. And when you start your job, you're going to have a schedule. You have a schedule at school. Your schedule at your job is very much like that. What do you do when you get to your job, and how do you plan your day? All right. So on this board that we're looking at is called a communication board, and this board is divided into three different ways of working with words. So here we have our nouns, here we have our verbs, and here we have our adjectives. So if we clock in, that's an action, it's a verb. And Keisha, who is our main character, that's a person, so that's a noun. All right, so let's talk about the new word that we were working with today, and it's called your inferences. Let's talk about the word inference, okay? An inference is an educated guess based on what you already know. It allows you to figure out information that may be missing in the text. So the writer will use inference because you don't want to write all of the words. The book might be too long if you write everything that the reader needs to know. So the writer will use inference. And inference can come in a couple of ways. First, it may come as a picture. Let's look at these pictures and see if we can draw an inference from what we see. And what we see, first of all, is this young lady, and it looks as if she is running, and it looks like she's running hard because her arms are up. She's got her bag, her attaché case, her purse. She's running, looks like she's running really hard and fast. Look at this. There's a sign. It looks like a bus sign. And look at that. The bus is going down the road. What can we infer from this picture? What do you think is happening? What kind of guess can you make based on the evidence that we see? I think you're right. I think this young lady just missed the bus. Yes, I do. Let's try another picture. Look at this picture. Here we have some young people. They're sitting at a table. They're eating. It looks like they're eating watermelon at first until we see the spatula on a flat plate. That means they're eating pizza. What they're doing? Well, they have on baseball hats. He has a baseball glove, and they're wearing baseball uniforms. So they have obviously been playing a baseball game. And why are they at this table? I think they might be what? Celebrating. Look at that award that they've won. They've won a cup. It looks like they're the champions and they are celebrating. No one had to write that down for us. We used an educated guess with the information that we already know. Let's try another picture. Oh, this one is sad. This is a sad picture. Why is this young lady crying? And this young man looks very concerned. Well, they're at a table. They've got the table set, so it looks like a dinner table with some nice wine at the table. You know, adults will drink some wine with dinner, and that usually means it's a special occasion. So this might be a special occasion But why is she crying? What evidence do we have to let us know why she's crying? Well, she's carrying this tray. Smoke is coming from the tray. And whatever is in the tray, it is black. I think this infers that this is burnt. They wanted to have a special dinner, but dinner came out burnt. She is very disappointed, and he seems rather concerned. We can infer information and we don't have to have the words written down to tell us about it. Well, suppose you did have the words. If we want to use an inference to figure out what is happening in the text, let's see what we can do. Okay, listen to what I read and tell me if you can figure out what the author is trying to infer. And use your clues as we read along. I waited patiently for my dinner to be brought to the table. All of our food was carried on a big round tray. Lots of other families were eating also. When we were through, Dad left the waitress a big tip. Where am I? Okay, so with that information, where do you think they are? Are they at a restaurant, a zoo, or are they in a classroom? Oh, this is too easy. I know. They're at a restaurant. Good job. You and I came to the same conclusion. Let's read this one, because in this one, we want to figure out, who am I? Remember to use your clues. I began the day with my small tools to clean my patient's teeth. I placed a paper bib on her and shined a light down so I could see. I found one cavity. After all the teeth were cleaned, I gave her a toothbrush. Who am I? All right. A farmer, a dentist, a plumber. In the text, it did not tell us who was this person, but with the information we have, we can infer that it was a what? Excellent. Hey, Dennis, you know all about that. That's information you already have. So with that information, let's see if we can use that information and do a picture walk to figure out what is going on in the story using inferences. So the title, The Right Attitude for the Job. We have two people on the front of the page. It's a job. So this guy is in a shirt, coat and tie. He looks happy and she looks happy. I'm going to infer that he might be the boss. That's what I'm trying to come up with, just with the information that I'm giving, using clues. And here we have the same two people, both still very happy. Oh, and right here we have a specific type of clothes. What do you think that might be? Because you can go to a job in a dress or a skirt, but here this is specific. So this might be a uniform, okay? And here we have a schedule, maybe for the job. All right, you come to work with your uniform, you clock in, and you'll get what? Paid. This is a what? Check. We're going to infer that's for payment. All right. Oh, this is a very good picture for inference. We can see by the room, we have table and chairs. This might be a dining room. We see that there's an older man. And why do we think he's older? Well, he has gray hair, he has gray eyebrows. So that might be an older person. Younger people's hair don't go gray, some younger people, okay? Their hair doesn't go gray so early. And he has a disability because he's in a wheelchair. All right. So where do you think they're at in this place? Where do you think this setting is? I'm thinking it might be a nursing home. Yeah, because people who have disabilities, meaning they're not able to do something, in this case, he's not able to walk, he's older, he might not be able to take care of himself. So the person who is working might be taking care of him at a nursing home. That's a possibility. All right, and then we have our computer, and there's time on it, in and out. So that sounds like this is how they keep time. And she has a schedule. Who is this person? Well, we met who we thought was the boss. This person right here, I'm wondering, who is this person? Let's see. If I were to infer who this person is, we know that this person is probably the employee. So this person might be the person who trains the employee. Because you know the boss doesn't train you. The boss supervises what goes on. So this person may be the person who trains the new person coming in. And here we have our resident, the resident. Remember our word, resident, a part of our vocabulary. The resident is the person who lives in the home or at the place, at an apartment. So the resident is the person who lives there, and this person would be the resident of the nursing home. All right, so we have the resident, the boss, and the employee, and they all look very happy. All right. And on this picture, she's thinking about a dog. I cannot imagine why she's thinking about a dog, but let's make a good educated guess. There's a dog in this place because she would not bring her dog to work. No, no, no. We do not take our dogs to work unless we're blind. If you're blind and you need a companion dog, that is fine. You can do that. But we have no indication that she's blind so far. But so there's a dog at the place at this nursing home. So we'll figure that out. And look, here we see there's the dog, and it looks like he's very happy with the resident of the nursing home. So she gets to work with the dog and the resident. That looks very like fun to me. And here we are again with the boss and the new employee, and they're thinking about the dog. We have to figure that out. There's not enough evidence to tell us in this picture why she's thinking about the dog. But generally, if you're thinking about something, it's because it might be a problem. We don't know. We haven't read the book yet. We're just inferring. We're just making an educated guess. All right. So we've had a really good walk through our picture walk using inferences. So the other thing that we need to consider when we're reading a book is, and the type of thing that gets us ready to read a book is, what types of questions might come after we read the book? And that's important. If you read a book, especially for your teacher in school, you know she may ask some questions, and that's usually how you're tested. So what types of questions, if you read the questions first, that's not cheating. Read the questions first. You have a purpose for reading. If you're reading a book, you know the teacher's going to ask you questions. Say, teacher, what questions will you ask at the end? And I'm sure the teacher will be happy to read the questions for you. Okay, so the first question would be, what is this chapter about? And that's a common question. What does Keisha do before she gets the job? That's a good question. Who will help Keisha learn what to do? Oh, I think we made an inference about that as we were going through the pictures. And what is important to know about this chapter? Okay, so we're reading a chapter book. This is actually chapter 3 of the book. All right, excellent. So now we have enough information. Let's see if we can read the book. All right, this book is The Right Attitude for the Job, chapter 3. Keisha gets an interview for the job. She takes a shower and looks nice. Keisha goes to the interview. She answers questions. So at the interview, questions are asked. We learned that in our vocabulary. Keisha gets the job. Look at that exclamation point. I'm excited. Let's read that with excitement. Keisha gets the job. She will wear a uniform. Keisha will start work on Monday. She will get a paycheck. We made very good inferences from this picture. Excellent. Keisha will help the residents. She will deliver mail and flowers. She will visit with the residents. Remember, the residents are the people who live in that place. Keisha starts her job. She clocks in with a computer. Keisha meets her job coach. Remember, we were wondering, who is this young lady? It's the job coach. The job coach will help her learn what to do. Keisha gets her schedule. Keisha is busy. She helps lots of people. Mr. Jones is happy with Keisha. Keisha has a good attitude. She enjoyed her first day. Look at those smiles. Everybody's happy. Keisha goes to work on Wednesday. She clocks in. She has to do new things today. Keisha must help a resident with his dog. She is worried about working with the dog. So there's a problem in this story. She's worried about working with the dog. That's why she's thinking about it. She's worried about it. Keisha talks to Mr. Jones about her problem. He tells her it is okay. There will be people to help her. Keisha has to do a job she does not like. And the part she doesn't like is she's not too sure about that dog. Keisha plays with the dog. Keisha liked playing with the dog. She is glad she did it. Mr. Jones is glad Keisha came to him. Keisha has a good attitude at her job. Remember, the problem was she was afraid to work with the dog. Mr. Jones told her it'll be okay. She didn't get upset and cry and say, I don't want to. I want to go home. I don't want this job. She didn't do that. She had a good attitude. She tried it. And guess what? She liked playing with the dog. And that good attitude, Mr. Jones likes that. All right. So we've learned a lot of good things in this story. Let's see if we'll be able to answer the questions. All right. What is this chapter about? Is it about work, school, or the zoo? Easy question. It's about work. When we have that green box around our answer, we know we have the right job. What does Keisha do before she gets the job? What does she do before she gets the job? Does she dance? Does she swim? Does she interview? Well, I did not see any dancing or swimming in this story. The right answer should be interview. Good job. You and I had the same idea. What will Keisha get? Will she get chocolate, a house, or a paycheck? In this story, what will Keisha get? Chocolate, house, paycheck? You think it's paycheck? Let's try it. Good job. It was a paycheck. Excellent. Who will help Keisha learn what to do? On the job, remember this is about her job. Who will help Keisha learn what to do? Will it be a friend, grandma, job coach? What did we learn when we read the story? Job coach, you're right. That's excellent. Who will help Keisha learn what to do? The job coach. Okay, last question. What is important to know about this chapter? A, Keisha works at a restaurant. B, Keisha has a good attitude at her job. C, Keisha walks to work. What is important to know about this chapter? We don't know how she got to work. We can slash that already. They did not discuss that. We saw that she was in a dining area, but that wasn't what the story was important. What was important in the story? What was important was B, Keisha has a good attitude at her job. All right. That you've done a great job. We've read our story, we've done the questions. I want to ask the question. What do you think this story? Why do you think the author wrote this story? When you read a book, books are written for a purpose. And when we want to think about the author's purpose, we think about pie, not to eat, but to help us make a decision as to why did the writer write the story? So P, persuade, I, inform, E, entertain. Why did the author write this story? To persuade us? Persuade means he's trying to get you to do something or believe what he is saying. To believe something, to do something, persuade. To inform, the author gives you information about a topic. There was no specific topic. We had a important point that was trying to be made, which was your attitude. But we didn't get a lot of information, facts. We didn't get that. Entertain. The author tells us a story that we will enjoy. And generally, if someone is entertaining you, emotion is what you're going to feel. You're going to feel happy or sad or anxious or angry. Entertain you. So the author wants you to feel something. So for this story, what do you think? Persuade, inform, entertain. I think I'm going to go with entertain also. Entertain. I think the author was trying to entertain us, and I think the author was trying to make a point that a good attitude is important on a job. Yeah, I think so. And excuse me, when we were reading this story, we also needed to know what type of story was this. Was this a nonfiction text or fiction? If it's nonfiction, there's a lot of facts. There's usually a glossary. There's true information with maybe directions, photos, charts, graphs, captions. That's a nonfiction text. If it's a fiction text, it's telling a story. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. You have your characters, you have a setting, you have a problem. And if you have a problem, you need a solution. In this story, did we have a problem? Yes, we did. That dog, our character in the story did not know what she wanted to do with that dog. She couldn't decide. Okay, so we're going to say this was a fiction or nonfiction. What do you think? I think I'm going to go with fiction also. Very good. All right. As we were reading our story, guys and girls, we saw in our book, we had a character who had a disability. And that word is a word we did not discuss for our vocabulary, but a disability means you're not able to do something. Well, to this story, that man had a physical disability. He wasn't able to work, and we could infer that because he was in the wheelchair. And what I want you to leave with today is that uh, about attitude. The right attitude will get you a good job. But also, the biggest disability that you can have is a bad attitude. All right, guys and girls, we did a good job today. Thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you again. Bye now.